Hi friends, today I want to show you how to create this mini Thanksgiving album that has space for you to document what you're grateful for every day in November. It's a fun little accordion album created in a half stamp case. You can buy these in my online store. You can get the half wood mount case, or you can get the full wood mount case. We're going to use the half one for today. And let's see, let me just show you the album first. Here is the cover, and it kind of just has a brad closure with string, and you open it up and it's just an accordion with an accordion fold with a space for every day in November. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with just an empty half stamp case, and we are going to pull off this plastic cover. We don't need that, so it just comes right off really easily, and we're going to start decorating. You can see this little bit at the top here. That is for two to kind of stack together. I'm sorry, they go like this to stack together. We are going to keep this bit on the bottom. That way it kind of will stand up if we want it to. It'll stand up a little better. So let's go ahead and get started. For the base of our cover, we're going to have a piece of rich raspberry, and it's going to be 3 1/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and layer everything on first before I put it on my box. So I'm going to put that to the side. And then I'm going to layer a piece of mossy meadow at 3 by 4 3/4. And I'll have all these measurements on my page so you can easily see them in case you don't get them jotted down. I'm just going to mat that on and mat a piece of the DSP from Into the Woods. This paper is so pretty. It's kind of a watercolory look. Really fun for fall and Thanksgiving crafting. This is 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And I'm going to use that colorful side so it shows. Mat that on. And then, to create our embellishment, believe it or not, this bit here is not a stamp. It is paper. It is from this DSP sheet, same pack, the Into the Woods. And I'm just going to take a bit, let's do the Daffodil Delight flowers in the center. So I'm just going to cut this out and trim it up really quick with these paper snips for that. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, just quick little cuts, kind of curving around to get that look of the entire image. Should have done this beforehand, but that's okay. And you can see it doesn't really take too long, and you really don't have to be precise. And I just kind of want to fold that up a bit to give it some oomph. And I'm going to use dimensionals, wherever they are. I've lost mine. Cannot beat these Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. They're the best. I'm going to use just a few right on the back. Stick that right on. Like so. Okay, and then to create our little flag with our sentiment on it, if you want to call it a sentiment or album title cover, I'm going to use this banner punch and turn it over and stick my 1/2 inch sheet of Whisper White, it's 1/2 inch by 3, right inside there so I can get a little flag. So much easier than trying to make that bright with your scissors. I can never get it perfect with scissors. Okay, for the sentiment, we're going to use For All Things. This set, I believe, debuted in the 2014 holiday catalog, and luckily it rolled over to the new annual catalog. It's perfect for fall and Thanksgiving, and we're going to use this image here. And instead of using a stamp pad, we're going to use markers. I want to accent the thanks, so I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight marker for the give. And just marker that up and stamp right on there. That was a little messy, so let's turn it over and try again. If you do that too thick, it gets too much into those creases of the stamp, and then it's too much ink. Better. Okay. Instead of using my stamping cleaner for in between this, because I don't want it to get dirty, sometimes my stamp pad needs cleaning too much, so it gets my stamps dirty in between if I need to use them one right after the other. So I'm just going to stamp off on my paper here and then ink up the thanks with Tangelo Twist. This is one of the in colors, the 2014-2016 in color. Perfect for this time of year. And just stamp that right on. There we go. It's a little crooked, but no big deal. Doesn't bother me. Okay, then we're going to use a little bit of the Into the Woods ribbon. It's so pretty. It's a cotton ribbon, easy to work with. And just fold that over. And I'm going to use a stapler to just staple that right to my flag. And I'm just going to dimensional that right on there. Since I've got that thickness of the ribbon, I want to use dimensionals to make this stay. And we'll just put that right on top. I'm going to line it up with the edge of the mossy meadow. Okay, and then I'm going to use the Into the Woods wood elements to add some pop to my cover. I'm going to attach a little acorn. These are so pretty. With glue dots, just a couple right on top. Okay, now I'm going to add this to my cover using dimensionals because I want it to stand up off of my box. See, it's kind of flat looking there, but we want it to look more like this, just really pop. So I'm going to use a lot of dimensionals here because I really want this to stay and last a long time. So I'm going to use about 8. Okay, and that fits just so on my cover. Perfect. Now, when I open up my album, that's ugly. So I want to cover that up. I'm just going to use a sheet of 3 by 4 3/4 rich razzleberry and just some snail and add that right on top. Now, if you'll put your dimensionals more inward, you'll be better at covering those up when you put this piece in. So that was the outside of our box. Super easy. Let's go ahead and do our little brad closure and get that over with, because this is a more difficult bit of the box. For this, I tried using a handheld punch, just not in the right place. If you can see, there's kind of groove right here on this box. We want our brad to be on the top part. Well, this bit goes through all the way. Well, that punch is not going to go through that. So we're going to use our paper piercer. And I'm just going to put this right on top. And don't do like I did earlier and bend your piercer. And I'm just going to stick that on through there. And you'll be able to kind of see once it has gone through that first layer. We just need it through the first layer. Same thing on the other side. Push through. Okay, easy enough. Now I have these silver mini brads. These are a lot of fun. I think you get like 300 in a package for $5 or $6. So they're definitely worth your money. We are going to just open this up. Stick this right through there. And it's still closed. Push that on through. And it's kind of going to bend itself. May have to work it a little bit on through. I think this was easier earlier because I'd already bent the brad a little bit. So you just kind of have to work it through. There we go. Let me use my piercer through here to kind of just get that to turn. You can see what I did there. There we go. Okay, same thing on the other side. And the reason I'm doing this is because my album is so thick, it won't close. Well, I can get it to close now, but I haven't added in any pictures or, you know, whatever I'm going to put in this box for what I'm grateful for every day. So that's going to add some thickness. I'm going to make this hole a little bigger here. Just not cooperating. I'm going to work it out there. Well, I knew this was going to happen. When I get in on the video, it's not going to work. And then when I did it earlier on my sample album, it, you know, went right on through. Okay, so then we have our two brads, and I'm going to use linen thread to just make a closure for this. Swoop that around that brad, and then that'll be your closure there. Super easy, and then that way it'll kind of stay open, giving us room for our accordion. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the fun part, the inside. So I didn't finish this bit all the way. That way you could see how to finish it. So here is the look from it from the top. You can see it's just accordion fold. My little acorn has fallen off here. And it's front and back. So that way you have enough for every day. So you're going to need 15 sheets of, I use Sahara sand, and it's 6 by 3 1/4. Yes, 6 by 3 1/4, and it's scored at 1 inch. So I'm just going to attach this here. I don't need the scored end yet. The scored end is going to go this direction. So here's what I want to make sure I do. If you'll kind of work your album like this once you get going, keep your album standing like this, and then you'll know where to glue your next page and which way to accordion it. So I'm going to glue it in just like this, and I'm going to use fast fuse. You could also use the new tear tape. That's plenty strong as well. I just really like the fast fuse. It's easy to use and not so messy. Not that the tear tape is messy, but it's kind of sometimes difficult to get it going. Get the backing peeled off of it. Okay, so we just stick that on like so. And I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure that's crease is really well. And of course it'll be easier for you to do that because you're going to want to put your accordion, your entire accordion together first and then decorate it. And then I have one more. So this one needs to go this way. Now, this is my last page. So I don't need that bit, so I'm just going to trim that off real quick. I don't need that scored bit because I'm not attaching it to anything else. Okay, so that side goes this way. Now let me show you how to do this fast fuse really quick. Earlier on the first one I put in, I glued and went this direction. This time I'm going to glue, put in my glue, and go this way. That way this stuff stays on your roll instead of sliding on and off. And if you get your adhesive stuck to your roller, all you have to do is roll it until it's not stuck any longer. Super easy. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that right on there, like so, and crease that really well with my bone folder. Okay, so what I did on the front, I did days 1 through 15. So I'm going to finish out these 2 pages using, I want to make sure I go in the right direction, Rich Razzleberry and some more of that DSP, and Tangelo Twist and DSP. So I'm just going to glue those right in with Snail. And you can see our lip for our accordion. If you don't want to, you don't have to make that 1 inch. You could do a 1/2 inch or whichever. I just find it's easier and it's stronger to have a wider fit there for our accordion. I'm just going to put that right in and add the DSP. Same thing over here. And of course you would just repeat all of this for your entire accordion album. It's really simple. I just didn't think you needed to sit through this whole entire album. It probably will take you, after you've cut your pieces, probably an hour, hour and a half maybe, to get everything put together. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over so I can add in days 19 and 20. No, days 16, 17, there's 18, so it goes that. Okay, so same way here. Let's make sure I don't get off track. Yep, that's right. I just want to make sure my colors are in order. This DSP is so pretty. Almost done here. Okay, now I'm going to add in my embellishments with the days, the numbered days, and I used a corny thank you to create my acorns and the acorn tops. So fun. One of my favorites from the new holiday catalog. So I've already done these ahead of time. And then I used the Project Life Day to Day with these numbers to stamp in my numbers for each day of the month. Oh, one thing I forgot to share. On the cover of my album, I stamped in November. This is done with the Perpetual Birthday Calendar stamp set in Early Espresso. Forgot to do that step earlier. Okay, and then I also have some flags. I'm just going to do one of these for now. I don't think I need to repeat myself. So here is the deal. If you look at each of my acorns, see if you can kind of see them all here. They are in alternating corners. So I've used all 4 corners, and I did this for thickness of my album. So on this one, I want to use this bottom right-hand corner. Now, my flag, I cut these little flags because I thought they were perfect for the journaling, for what I want to put in, what I'm grateful for today. So I did not put adhesive all the way across because I want to make sure I have room to tuck in a picture or whatever. And you'll see I did the same thing with my acorns. Now, you're going to be really tempted to use dimensionals to attach these in. It'll just make your album so thick you won't be able to close it. So, fight the urge. Stop the urge to do that. Okay, don't do what I just did. See, I put the glue at the top. I want to put the glue at the bottom for this one. That way we can tuck that photo or sheet of paper in when we attach it into our album. So, be sure you put the snail on the bottom. Now we can tuck in there. Now you especially are going to be tempted to use dimensionals for the top of this acorn. It's just too much. Now, don't be a goon and do what I did and stamp your numbers opposite from your acorn topper, so you can kind of see those just don't line up. So what I'm going to do is just snip the top of this one right off. Easy enough. And then we don't have to worry about that. Glue that in the same way. And add that right on top. And there's our accordion. It's so easy to make. And so pretty. And I think it'll be so perfect just to add in, you know, picture, maybe like a wallet size picture right in there. And then write in what the picture is, or if there's like a feeling in particular of what you're grateful for. But they're just so easy to make, and really a perfect gift too. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment. See you guys later.